which is a very unique process. So chairman GP is not something that happens anywhere else. I think this is the only place where you would have an experience with the chairman GD.
Hi everyone, I hope you're doing good. As I said in my previous video that I'm going to start a series जहाँ पे we will be calling industry experts to know about different roles और उन particular roles के लिए हम क्या-क्या skill set required हो सकती है and how we can prepare for that role and how we can access in that particular role. So ये series start हो चुकी है and this is episode 1 of that series. I firmly believe that there is a wide gap between what is taught in our college and what is expected out of us in job role. Also with changing time, उनका जो requirement है वो भी change होता जा रहा है. So how we can keep up with the pace of the changing job market. And so ये series will leverage all those gaps. So channel को subscribe करना मत भूलना ताकि ये सब opportunities और information आपसे miss ना हो जाए and you are up to date with the current changing job market. And also one more thing, please do let me know for your own benefit कि आप ये series किस language में देखना चाहते हो, whether it is English, Hindi और English, ताकि आगे जाके हम उसी language को prefer करें and it can be benefited to all of you. So in this particular series, we have with us Rutvik, who is very good friend of mine and carries an exceptional education background, not just because he is from IIM Ahmedabad, but also because he have cracked an opportunity that is called TAS. अब ये TAS क्या है, उसके लिए आप कैसे prepare कर सकते हो, इसके pros and cons क्या हैं, ये सब हम इस वीडियो में जानने वाले हैं. This video is going to be a game changer like it was for me. To be honest, when I came to know about this opportunity, my reaction was कि यार ये पहले क्यों नहीं पता चला. Trust me, अगर ये चीज़ हमें पहले पता होती तो I would have chosen that career. So anyway, bygones are bygones, but I don't want you to miss these kind of opportunities. So that's why I'm here to guide you in your career and to make you the best version of yourself. So do subscribe the channel and enjoy the video. I see you soon. Before I leave you, I also have a bonus tip for you. So उसके लिए आपको वीडियो को लास्ट तक देखना पड़ेगा and that bonus video is going to be a value addition to your information. So please do watch till the end and I see you soon now.
Thanks for this for the invite. Happy to connect with you. So I'll start off by introducing myself. I was born and brought up in Calcutta. I completed my schooling from there. And post that I moved to Chennai to pursue my engineering and computer science from IIM University. I graduated in 2020 and post that I picked up a job in finance and investment banking at a startup. I worked there for a year. And simultaneously I was also preparing for CAT. I got into IIM Ahmedabad in 2021 for their flagship PGP program. I did my summer intern at Procter & Gamble and finally I was placed in the Tata Group as a TAS Manager. Over the last 1 year, I've been working with different Tata companies across different divisions on different projects in different capacities. So yeah, that is at a broad level what I have done across the years.
बहुत vibrant आपका experience है, like you have been graduated from IIM Ahmedabad, so congratulations for that. And अब आपने बोला like you are currently associated with Tata Group as a TAS. So what is actually a TAS?
Okay, so TAS stands for Tata Administrative Services. It is the flagship leadership development program of the Tata Group. It was launched in 1956. 68 years have gone by this program. So every year they recruit candidates for the leadership program and they train them. They have different channels from wherein they hire candidates. They hire on campus from schools. They hire via their in-house tracks for the different group companies. The different employees are eligible for them and they have different eligibility criteria as well for that. They have their own quiz competitions as well. Tata Imagination Challenge via which they hire candidates. So finally, once they have hired candidates from all these channels, they form a batch of students or let's say candidates who then go upon their probation period wherein they undergo 4 different stints at 4 different companies and in across different locations on different projects. So you're exposed to a wide variety of industries as well as different kinds of projects. You get to meet a lot of people, learn from them, learn from their experiences. So it hones your skill sets and it gives you a wide exposure. So this leadership program has been the flagship of Tata Group and it is one of the most sought after programs in the corporate.
That's actually an interesting opportunity. Like when I came to know about this, I was like, ये पहले क्यों नहीं पता था? Like even if I would have known about this, I would have rather applied for this opportunity. But yeah, मतलब आपने जैसे बोला इसका selection process कैसा होता है? Is it specifically come to particular colleges या ऐसा है या फिर anyone can apply for this opportunity?
No, so there are 3 different channels that you apply for. So let's say you are an MBA student, right? If you're an MBA student, there are select campuses across the country wherein they go to campus to hire candidates. That is one channel. Okay. Second channel is if you are an employee of one of the Tata Group companies or the joint venture companies. So they have certain eligibility criteria which is available on the website, like you need to have minimum 2 years of experience. The maximum experience can be 6 years. you need to undergo 2 appraisal cycles, and they have this defined list of eligibility criteria. So if you're an employee of the Tata Group, you can check this eligibility criteria and you can be eligible for the process. And the third channel is the Tata Imagination Challenge, which is a nationwide challenge which they run for different undergraduate and postgraduate students. And if you can win that challenge, then you get an entry into the selection process. So these are the 3 different channels from which they hire candidates.
Okay, so आप तो IIM Ahmedabad के through इधर selected हुए, तो इसका selection process क्या था? मतलब eligibility, did they had some bar for the marks, और उसके process कितने थे, interview process और examination if they had any?
So जब TAS finals में campus party, they did not have any defined eligibility criteria as such. They had applications open and anyone could have applied at that point of time. They would have certain shortlisting criteria. They would have shortlisted candidates. So I'll walk you through the process. So first everyone applies on the portal and then they shortlist candidates. And the first round that happens is the chairman GD. This is a very unique process. So chairman GD is not something that happens anywhere else. I think this is the only place where you would have an experience with the chairman GD, wherein you have a panel of 8 candidates and each round there is one chairman, and that chairman has to drive the entire GD. So you have 8 rounds of GD for 8 candidates, and then they judge you based on your leadership skills, how well you are able to drive the GD. When you are not the chairman, how well do you contribute to the GD? So these are 8 different rounds that happen in chairman GD. And once you clear the chairman GD, there is a presentation round. So when I was there on campus, TAS had come for finals. So for our presentation round, they had made us present our summer internship presentations. What our project was, what we had done, what was the impact. So they had graded us on that. And once you clear the presentation round, you have the final interview round with a panel. And after that, the offer is rolled out. So these are the 4 different stages for selection on campus.
What unique process है? मतलब usually what I have heard कि मतलब interview होता है, then there are certain round of interviews and then either examination like aptitude हो गया या फिर English based anything. But that's quite interesting, like the process. Also, when you said that आपने मतलब आप तो select हो ही चुके थे, so can you share your experience, like what kind of questions they asked out of your PPT, like which you presented, या फिर GD के topics which you can share, if you remember any?
So GD topics is a very diverse mix that can be a mix of both business problems as well as social problems. So for example, like if I remember correctly, in some of the business problems that were presented were, let's say you are the head of marketing for a product. That product is not doing well and it is making losses. Will you close down the product or what will you do? So case studies around business problems. There were some social case studies as well, wherein you are let's say the head of union for a mining plant. The corporate has announced that the plant will be closed down due to excessive pollution. Now you are responsible for the welfare of all the workers. How do you respond to such situations? So it is a diverse mix of both business as well as social problems. They try to test your acumen on how well do you handle the topic, how well do you drive the discussion. So I think in the chairman GD, it is beneficial if you go with an open mind and try to reason out your discussion at that point. And when the presentation now happened, it was purely based on what work I had done, what were the challenges I had faced, what my project was. They tried to test my knowledge on how well had I understood the market, had I tried to interact with different consumers, did I actually go out and see what the competitors were doing. So they had tried to grill me up in depth on how well I had understood the project. So it was not so much based on how well I had done the project, but instead on how well I had understood the project in the market. So that is what that made me on. And when it comes to the final interview, it was a very diverse experience. It was an 1 hour long interview, and anything and everything under the sun, I think that was really fun. Starting from my personal choices, why did I choose computer science engineering? Why did I choose to work for a particular company? To let's say, why did I choose engineering at all? So starting from the career choices that I had made, to business problems as well, as in what are the different trends that is coming up, and finally some contextual questions as well. So they have some situational questions that they had to me. Let's say they give me 1 crore, how will I allocate it, how will I use it? So such on the spot judgment questions were asked as well. So I think it was a 1 hour long comprehensive interview that happened, and I think it covered almost everything that was there for me CV and beyond as well.
Okay, thanks for sharing. But when you were sharing your experience, I had this question in my mind: is it वे anywhere similar to UPSC, क्योंकि वो UPSC की जो interview process होता है next to is 1 hour long, right? तो मतलब इसमें कुछ सिमिलैरिटी है. डू यू हैव एनी आइडिया? बिकॉज आई रेड समवेयर कि यूपीएससी के बेसिस पे ही कुछ ऐसा प्रोग्राम टाटा ने लॉन्च किया था, इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग, कुछ ऐसा था.
आप कह सकते हो देयर आर स्लाइटली सिमिलरिटीज. मतलब आप उनका सिलेक्शन प्रोसेस देखोगे, मतलब द फाइनल इंटरव्यू दैट हैपेंस विद द पैनल, दैट इज द वेरी सीनियर पैनल. आफ्टर द सिलेक्शन जब हमारा टास्क प्रोग्राम स्टार्ट हुआ था, राइट? तो आई थिंक आईएएस लोगों का भी भारत टेस्ट होता है. once they complete the training at the academy in Missouri, they are posted at different locations for the first year. Similar हमारा experience है. So there are some parallels. So I would not be surprised अगर कुछ इधर उधर process में similarities हो.
Can I put it in a way कि it's like a private job पे UPSC, like in a lighter note?
मतलब at a use level, yes, कह सकते हो आप. मतलब the name is also such, Tata Administrative Services. So at a use level, yes.
So as Tata is known for their values, right? Like among Indians, it's more of values क्योंकि सब जो टाटा के चेयरमैन जितने भी रहे हैं अभी तक, they are so generous. So what are the qualities apart from leadership they seek, like people on the other side of the table? So which chairmen are you again? So what do you think, according to you, what they seek?
So based on my experience, what I see from me was how well do I react to situations. So for example, integrity is very important to them. If I stick to my decisions, if I can stay true to myself, that is something that is very important to them. If I am not relying for personal gains, or let's say if I'm looking out for the greater good, so their motto is that if you take something back from the society, you give them much more.
Yeah.
So that is their motto. So if you are aligned with those values, then it is very important for them that they look for similar candidates. And I think my values in that interview were aligned. That is what helped me as well.
Yeah.
So some of the values that they look out for are integrity, honesty. So these are the values that they generally look out for.
Yeah. And to be honest, I also joined Air India because of these values. Like if they would have not acquired by Tata Group, I would have not thought of joining it. I mean, it's just because of they acquired by Tata. Yeah, that's very true.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. And what is your experience till far? You have been like you have crossed your 3 stints, right? Till far. So
Yes.
what is your experience with the KAKA learnings were here?
Okay, so the broad level, very, very different experiences. So this is my 4th stint that I am in. All 4 have been very different from each other. And even before the 4th stint started, we had gone through a 1-month induction program wherein we had traveled to different locations across the country, to different Tata Group companies, different plants. We had gone to the Titan plant, we had gone to the Tata Power plant, Tata Steel plant. We had traveled across the breadth of the country. And after that, when the stints had started, my first stint was at Titan with Fast Track in the marketing communications team. So I had executed an entire campaign end-to-end for Fast Track. And that was a very different experience. I got insights into how marketing works, what sells for the consumers, how do you position your products, how do you send out a particular communication, how do you interact or manage different stakeholders and ensure that delivery happens on time. So I think that stint was a great learning experience. The second stint that I had was with Tata Motors in the strategy department, wherein I had to develop the strategy for an upcoming futuristic technology from Tata Motors. So I think that was also a great experience wherein I had that exposure to some futuristic technology that I had gotten a chance to look into the market and work on some exciting stuff. So I developed the strategy for that. So again, I had worked closely with the leadership. So the exposure that I got in working with the leadership, learning from the people, again, very invaluable.
Yeah.
And the third stint that I had was with Air India. And Air India had its own benefits. Again, working in a very dynamic environment. The company has just been acquired. It's only 2 years and the merger with Vistara is happening. So a lot of things happening around. A lot of people who are working on multiple things. So it was a very high pressure and ambiguous environment because the boundaries are not very clear on what we're supposed to do and what is being expected. So again, that was a great experience from a learning point of view, working with different stakeholders, trying to understand the processes. That helped. And finally, I'm at Tata Communications at Chennai, and currently I'm doing product marketing. So again, a new product is being launched. I'm working on the entire team strategy for it, end-to-end, creating the strategy, creating the sales material. So yeah, in short, it has been a great journey. I have stayed in Mumbai, I stayed in Delhi, I stayed in Bangalore, I stayed in Chennai. 4 different locations, 4 different teams, 4 different kinds of projects. great exposure till now, and absolutely loved it.
Yeah, that's the actual criteria which they had that facilitated me here. Okay, मतलब आपको एक साल में इतना सारा diverse opportunity से you get to it, and that's a great learning for like freshers at least कि उन्हें इतने सारे corporate में जाने का कैसे deal करना है, ये सब learnings बहुत जल्दी early stage पे मिल जाती है, and that's great.
Absolutely.
But ये जो stint होती है, so do you have any preferences like you can choose कि मुझे इस वाली company में जाना है, इस ऐसा कुछ कर सकते हैं हम या
So we initially when we had जब हमारे streets allocate हुए थे, there is an interaction that happened. We had filled on our preferences की these are our career goals in the short term, in the medium term, in the long term. These are different opportunities that we are interested in. And again, the aim is to ensure that those company candidates fit. So if I'm interested in a particular company, the company is interested in me, that can always work out. So yeah, we do give in our preferences of companies, domains, locations, whatever. So that preferences were always looked into.
So now I'll shift my focus from TAS to IIM Ahmedabad. Looking back, what do you think कि once you joined IIM Ahmedabad, so कौन सा ऐसा surprising factor था आपके लिए? Was it so much of workload or the campus life? Can you share that?
I would not call it surprising per se, but again, the experience was something new for me because let's say I just come in after completing engineering. In engineering, my people are staying away from home, and the gender ratio is also not so diverse. So the batchmates in engineering and the batchmates at IIM were very different, and I think that's a great learning experience. At IIM, we had gender diversity. We had people coming in from so many different backgrounds. We had a lawyer in the batch, we had a doctor in the batch. We had people coming in for work experience of around 5 years, 6 years, and I'm joining in as a fresher, almost a fresher, just a year of experience. So again, the most surprising thing for me was how do you learn from so many diverse experiences? How do you learn from them? And I think that was a great experience. I would call it pleasantly surprising because I had no idea how do you interact with them, how do you work with them. But again, the MBA curriculum says that you'll have to work on different projects, you'll have to interact with different people. So working closely with them, bringing people to consensus, and I think that thing was very surprising to me, and I think I learned a lot from this.
Obviously. Oh, but I have this very subjective question for you. मतलब आपके campus में बहुत सारी companies आई हुई. How did you made your mind that you are going to go with the Tata Group, like this opportunity?
So हमारे में ऐसा होता है कि they have different tiers of companies that come in, not tiers per se, but different domains of companies that come in. We have finance companies coming in, we have consulting companies coming in. So I had worked in finance before. I had some exposure to consulting as well, and I realized that finance and consulting is not something that I would look at as a long-term opportunity. So I did not put myself into those roles. I wanted to look for something that had interested me at that point of time, which was a genuine opportunity, which is a general management role or something of a marketing role. So I think Tata Group, when it comes to general management, is the top preference for all the candidates on campus. So for me, it was a no-brainer. Since I wanted to get into general management, TAS was the preferred employer.
And आपको TAS के बारे में campus में जाके पता चला था या it's very well known opportunity with an MBA job?
Of course, it is a very well known opportunity within MBA. But once you get on campus, आपको थोड़ी और specifics पता चलती है. आप process के nuances समझते हो. What are the different opportunities that आप program use करते हो? तो वो आपको detail में पता चलता है. But at the top level, almost every MBA candidate would be a TAS. It is a very
Okay, so for students who seek, like after seeing your session, जो जिनको इस opportunity में जाना है, what suggestion would you give to them, or any resources they can refer to?
So again, जैसे आपको अगर TAS में जाना है, तो there are 3 channels. If you are an MBA student and TAS is coming on campus to hire, then of course read up on TAS, apply for TAS, see what they are looking for in candidates. Again, like you had pointed out, Tata values is something that that is very important to them. So if you are an MBA student and TAS is coming on campus, then read up on TAS, apply for it, ensure that you are aligned with their values, and it is something that is very important to. If you are, let's say, Tata Group employee, then TAS has its in-house process every year. Be aware of the timelines, be updated on the same, and again the process is very similar to what happens with the on-campus folks. So just have an interaction with people on campus and take a download from them on how to navigate through the process. And again, if we are not an Tata Group employer, TAS is not coming to your campus and you're an MBA student, then there's always a channel of Tata Imagination Challenge. Apply for the Tata Imagination Challenge. They have certain dreams. They ask you to come up with ideas and everything. Put your heart and soul into it and ensure that you stand out among the candidates so that you end up with the task offer.
So Tata Imagination के लिए it's open for all. You mean? Like,
So again, we keep working on eligibility criteria, but the good thing is that it is open for both undergraduate as well as postgraduate students. So आपकी website में जाके check करोगे तो they would have a detailed guidelines document. So they would have the detailed criteria as well. But again, that is a very good channel to start if you're not a Tata employee or Tata is not on your campus.
yeah. If your dream is to work with Tata, then of course this is a wonderful opportunity. I think
Yes.
that's pretty much what questions I had for you, and you elaborated in a very perfect manner in a layman term, जो कि I'm so sure audience को बहुत helpful लगेगा. And thank you so much for your time. And I hope मतलब आप इसके बाद maybe people are redirected to you for any doubts if they have. So
Absolutely.
thank
You will just be all the best to your viewers as well.
Yeah.
Active.
Thanks. So that's all about the video. I believe ये content आप लोगों के लिए बहुत useful रहा होगा. And please don't forget to share these kind of content to whosoever you think would be benefited with the video. Do like the video to support me and subscribe the channel. Now I will go to the bonus step. As Rutvik said that is interview process में GD plays a crucial role. तो इसलिए Rutvik has provided us a list of GDs जिसका आप prepare कर सकते हो जिन topics को. और अगर आपको उस कंटेंट का एक्सेस चाहिए सो प्लीज़ कमेंट डाउन GD इन द कमेंट सेक्शन बिलो एंड अगर वी हैव इनफ ट्रैक्शन देन वी विल रोल आउट द डॉक्यूमेंट विद यू एंड दैट्स ऑल. आई विश यू ऑल द वेरी बेस्ट एंड हैप्पी लर्निंग.